Welcome to a quick recap of this past week in wrestling. Um, First, I'm going to start with CM Punk. He, during the Royal Rumble match itself, injured his triceps. Looks like he's going to need to have surgery, so he's going to be out anywhere from 4 to 6 months. So that basically is going to take him out of the Royal Rumble match. Um, Looks like creative plans for going to have him win the Elimination Chamber in Perth, so he could face Seth Rollins for the World Heavyweight Championship. And from the promo, even though there has been no indication that Drew McIntyre has resigned, it appears he may have, simply because of both the comments and the CM Punk. It seems like they want to face each other when CM Punk gets healthy. So there's possibility that Drew McIntyre is either has resigned or is really close to resigning. Braun Breaker apparently did take Brock Lesnar's spot in the Royal Rumble, including um, his elimination. So it appears that Dominic Mysterio was the plan to eliminate Brock Lesnar. It seems like they were going to have a Brock face Mysterio Elimination Chamber due to the elimination. They could, bring Braun up and have him face Mysterio now at Elimination Chamber, but don't really have that much time, a few weeks, so let's see what they do with this. And they're probably going to start the Elimination Chamber build up probably on this upcoming week on Raw and SmackDown. Naomi and Andrade did officially re-signed with WWE now. Andrade is on Raw. Uh, Naomi is on SmackDown. Naomi is obviously on SmackDown because of she's made a Jey Uso. Andrade, even though Charlotte is on SmackDown, and that is his wife, she's injured with the ACL, so she could come back when she's healthy. If she comes back before the draft, she probably will be on Raw. If she comes back after the draft, wherever Andrade ends up being, she probably will be, and she might be considered a free. They may either consider a free agent or draft to the same place Andrade is. So we got like 7 8 months minimum before she'll be back. Apparently, Kevin Owens in this match with Logan Paul, he had a broken foot. They worked with he apparently injured it when he defeated Santos Escobar last month in the finals for the #1 contendership for the United States Championship. Uh, and more Seth Rollins told Cody Rhodes that he should pick him instead of Roman Reigns because that's what his father would pick. Not because W Championship, not that's because that's not W Championship, not because he's the workout horse champ like his father would want. And he was like, Roman is that Roman's never around, and says that, and he mentions that Cody said in the press conference after the Royal Rumble that he was the man, or Seth said he's not the man, nor is Roman Reigns. He was the man. And I'll get a little more into. And Roman Reigns did respond, but I'll get into that a little bit later on. Pat McAfee is back doing commentary now for WWE. He's now going to be on Raw with Michael Cole. They may rebuild it over to SmackDown and having Corey Graves do the play-by-play stuff now. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do for the pay-per-views. I saw someone suggest that maybe McAfee would be bigger pay-per-views and stuff, but like I don't think so because I think the reason they put McAfee on, on Raw as opposed to SmackDown is because of his game college game day on ESPN commitments, or he has to be with that, and like Survivor Series will be during college football season. The SummerSlam possibly could be as well. That's of course they're close by. Like one time he showed up for SmackDown in Denver back in December, October, I guess it was. Yeah, it was October because our team was still there. Here's at WrestleMania 40. Both nights are going to be starting at an hour earlier than normal, so be 7 p.m. on the Eastern Standard Time. So it'll be 6 Central, 5 Mountain, 4 Pacific. And if you're watching somewhere else, you figure that out, I guess, with the time differences. Um, Bailey went back down and pick up Io Sky for WrestleMania 40 opponent because she found is what's the name? Damage Control finally turned on her, and I kind of thought that they would that Damage Control Bailey would be at least on the long lines of Batista, where she had to make a choice. They want her, of course, to do Rhea Ripley and decides on Io. But they kind of did. They did some of that to where she was uh, uh, saying Oscar and Io Sky were talking Japanese in the back, and Billy Billy was at and heard them, and apparently she knew enough Japanese to know that they were talking behind her back. And so, which makes sense because you think she would pick up some Japanese around them since they're always around them, and they finally did the breakup. I think anyone's been noticing since like August maybe. I think it was maybe maybe before August, maybe July. And a notable note on this is that Dakota Kai was not there. So it's going to be interesting to see with creative who she sides with. Really is going to need someone. Nick Nemeth, he had made two wrestling debuts this past week. We're doing two different companies. His debut match against TNA, which actually was taped 2 weeks ago, I guess. Uh, where he defeated Trey Miguel in the match, but after the match he was attacked by Steve Macklin and the Rascals, which is Trey Miguel's group with Myron Reed and Zachary Winch. And Zachary Winch was at the ringside and got ejected from the from ringside. Um, Nemeth also made his GCW debut with a win over against Matt Cardona. And of course, Matt Cardona is seems a, a really a Los Angeles screw job. Like he was in Los Angeles. Reminds me of you understand, but Mick Foley yesterday that he would like to lose like 100 pounds and have one last match as a Texas Death Match. I think on his 60th birthday, after he turned 60, I guess he turned 60 this year, and looks like it could be against. If it does happen, it looks like it could be against Matt Cardona because Matt Cardona's already, at least that I know of. I'm sure other people may have said something, but he had a post where he was wearing a jacket that said "F you, Foley," and he said that he was just and talk about how he was a death match king. So it could be if it does happen, if he just has a match, it could be against Cardona, and it could be a GCW too. Matter of fact, uh, Grizzly Young Vets took the first match in the best of seven series for the teenage champion titles against ABC. think I think this will go seven full matches because I've never seen it not go that far. They could surprise us and go six matches. Apparently, according to Rikishi, Jacob Fatu, who is Rikishi's nephew, who's the first cousin of the Usos and Solo Sikoa, is now a free agent. And I'm not saying he's not a free agent because he could be working on a on a uh, on a match by match thing with MLW, but in MLW's super super fight, he did defeat um, Yuki Nagata, and after the match, he was attacked by Kanto's Saturday Death Squad. Uh, he was able to fend them off until Madge Kruger came returned and knocked him out in the back of the knocked him out. And it was announced that they're going to have a match at Burning Crash next month. So either that will be his last match, or like I said, he's working on a for match stipulation or contract. Where so if he signs, probably would be after that match, or he might sign, but finish up his obligations with other organizations. Well, if he signs with AEW, you won't have to worry about that. If he does have the WWE, he will have to do that. So it's going to be interesting to see if he actually is a free agent and where he does sign. I same thing with TNA, I guess, too. If he signs TNA, he can still do MLW as well. Uh, Ricky Shane Page in the calling attacked Akira and was set him up for the returning Raven to join them, except Raven ended up signing with Akira. So um, so I do think they're going to see a tie match with them, with Raven and Akira against them, since Akira is former member of the calling. So Sasha Kajami defeated Alex Kane for the MLW World Heavyweight title. That kind of surprised me. His last two champs, Jacob for two and Alex Hammerstone, both held the title over a year. And actually, I thought the MLW Middleweight Championship was going to change hands, but Joaquin Romero actually was able to retain over Ichabod, primarily because I thought. Well, I guess this tells me that with Joaquin Romero, it's okay that no one, that AEW is not mentioning him in the states as being from MLW and MLW champ, but I'm pretty sure CMLL when he has mentioned it is mentioning that. And am I guessing with Kojima is that he's still wrestling in Japan, so that's probably has to do more to do with that than anything else. But still surprising that King lost it how so crucially less than 7 months. Maybe 7 months, something like that. Maybe it was in July no, he went Battle Wyatt. Battle Wyatt was in April. He won the title in July. Yeah, so about 7 months, I guess. Brian Keith, he signed with AEW, so was probably one of the top independent wrestlers. He really wasn't doing anything with anyone else. He'd been working with AEW off and on since October. I got to see him in AEW event here in Houston in October. noticed he normally every time because he was in the reality of wrestling because he's promotion in Houston. So every time AEW came to Texas, it seemed like he was always on the show. At least for probably the last year and a half, he had a match with AEW. It's just October. He's at least once a month, maybe more, been having matches on in AEW. So good for him, and so that's good for him. He's getting some national exposure now. And now, the last three things I'm going to talk about are going to be probably the three biggest stories, and probably would normally be the biggest story of the week, but it's not. Um, First one I'm going to do is the Vince McMahon scandal. Some big news come out. Well, I mentioned from the top with Brock Lesnar, who I mentioned earlier with Dominic Mysterio. Brock Lesnar is totally off creative now. Also, his merchandise has been. I don't think that's not taken off, but I think they greatly reduced the cost. How much the cost is for majority of his merchandise on WWE.com, shop WWE.com, I should say. And apparently I saw this morning that the graphic for WrestleMania 40, he's no longer on it. They replaced it with the Liberty Bell. I'm sure they will change it again between now and then when they start getting more of the matches announced, including one of the other ones that I'm going to talk about in a couple of minutes. Apparently, like I mentioned earlier, Brock was supposed to face Dominic Mysterio at the Elimination Chamber, and it appears that at WrestleMania 40, Gunther was going to be his opponent. So, I got a feeling he would be in Mysterio, then probably may have lost to Gunther in WrestleMania. And if Mysterio loses, one thing I know, if Mysterio beats Brock Lesnar, people will be pissed, especially after what he did to Kofi back in 2019. Johnny Leonidas claims that he's also a victim of Vince McMahon. And I was telling this to one of my coworkers that I doubt that very much. Well, he probably is, but I doubt that if he was truly a victim. He would have said that a year and a half ago when he was fired. So there is probably some truth to what he was doing. And and Wendy Rose kind of alluded to that this past week on Twitter. And his stepdaughters, the Bella twins, made a comment that said they're shocked. I'm pretty sure they didn't know what was going on with him. At least not. They may have heard rumors, but yeah, I'm pretty sure one of the ladies when we came up to them and say, "Hey, your father nine is doing this, and that." I'm like, it's good. Just they would say, "Yeah, just blow it off." Possibly, I'm not gonna believe it, but it's kind of like that's because he's with their mothers. I mean, they knew exactly what he was doing, other than was uh, what was going on. Um, Also, lastly, some people may not remember this, but like last summer of 2023, the the federal government issued a search warrant on this man's stuff, and at the time, no one knew why. But apparently, it has to do. Well, let's say I'm assuming one of the reasons that this lawsuit was being done is that the warrants were on was for sexual assault and sex trafficking. That's what the lawsuit is on is based on. So yes, there's always some potential criminal um, charges possibly against him too. So, and the difference between the lawsuit and if these do come to light is that it's a lot easier with can't talk because the lawsuit is a civil matter. You just have to believe it's likely to have happened. Where in the criminal, the federal government's gonna have to prove without reasonable doubt that did happen. So, like the example would be like O.J. Simpson, where he was found innocent of killing his ex-wife, but then after the trial, he was sued by his ex-wife's family and lost that. So because there were two different things. The big one probably one next year will be. It's like I said, this would be a big one, because simply because not necessarily because of of what was said, but what might be said. And that's Tony Khan has a big announcement for Dynamite this upcoming week. And like I said, and this is normally people are saying, yeah, that's not big news, except for the fact that apparently it's going to be um, not not exactly announcing that Mercedes Moné is signed, but saying this it appears that is going to be on that. Um, and she apparently is not going to appear on Dynamite on AEW TV until probably March, probably right after Revolution. I'm going to assume. But apparently, on the day of the Royal, the closer to the day of the Royal Rumble, they were going to have an announcement. But with all this McMahon stuff that came out, Tony Khan probably decided not to do that, which I agree with because this is new. If it has to do with Mercedes Moné or even Carter, you don't want you want people to know about it. You don't want people to uh, just not hear about it, more or less. So, and and hopefully it has to do with Monet. That way people will shut the heck up about her going back to WWE because she's not at least not in the near future. And one thing I gotta say is that I know Tony Khan's probably gonna give her a lot of money, but he has to remember he has no problem walking out if she's not being used properly creatively. She needs to be put into the well, I don't want to say main event because this is face Athena, I guess, because she's the only woman that's main event a Ring of Honor pay per view, unlike anyone's women in the in AEW. And obviously in Revolution, she won't be a main event because I'll put Sting in the main event. This is this retirement match. Uh, but I'm sure, but yeah, she has to be going against Britt Baker, Thunder Rosa, Tony Storm, uh, Deanna Peraza. She has to be going against those people, or incredible wants something like NJ or Cider or something like that. People who have actually, um, or I mean, they could start with Widow Nightingale, someone who a credible opponent, not someone that's not like a Billy Starks or someone like that. Someone that that people already know that she has faced before or is a former champion, not not one up and comers like they did with CM Punk, which I think they dropped the ball with Punk. And a few other people have said that too. Said, "Oh, he's back. Okay, how come he's not facing Brian Danielson or Claudio or John Moxley or MJF, one of the top stars? So she needs to be facing some of the top stars immediately. So because that's what like WWE's going to do that with Jade Cargill once he starts. wrestling out single matches because they've already planted some seeds with Bianca Belair. He already planted some seeds with her and Nia Jax. So even her and Bailey even. Um, so, so there's a couple of people for her. Like those are three big names. The fun thing is Roman Reigns and The Rock for WrestleMania 40. Um, because Roman Reigns, well, first of all, Roman Reigns did respond to Seth Rollins, and in a sense, I agree with him responding for how he did. Not only did he kind of hamper the not hamper, but make the World Heavyweight Championship look weak. Then when Cody came out a few minutes later and said he had a special counsel, and it was The Rock, and he was going to face him, but not at WrestleMania. Um, and everyone assumes that it's going to be he's going to be facing Seth Rollins. Cody's going to be facing Seth Rollins. Like, why would you want to face Seth Rollins if Roman Reigns is making fun of the championship? Because I mean, I'm not saying it was not funny, but at the same time, it made the World an unestablished belt look like it was like no better than the Intercontinental Championship or the United States Championship. That's on WWE there. And plus the fact, and then there's The Rock and Roman. Instead of last night, um, the the YouTube video of The Rock and Roman Reigns, like 13 million views. It's also the most disliked video in WWE history. Think about that for a second. They had Roman and The Rock in 2014 when Roman won the 2015 when Roman won the 14, I guess it was 24, might have been 2014 when Roman Reigns won the Royal Rumble, and he was getting booed. Rock goes out there to hold his to cut and point to him like he was mad, and they booed The Rock. That didn't get the amount of dislikes. The year before in 2013, no, it was 2015. It was 2015 because 2014 was Batista. So in 2015 was when The Rock did that in Philadelphia. In 2014, same thing with like Batista winning and stuff and stuff like that. Like with the other stuff that a lot of people didn't like, but didn't get this many dislikes. A lot of it was first off, what's the point of Cody winning the Royal Rumble? Well, a lot of people say, oh, because CM Punk got hurt. Oh, yes, that is part of it. They could still have CM Punk win the match, then announce that, like they did on Raw, about how he needs surgery and will do then at Quick Fix Elimination Chamber, have the last 6 men um, uh, take, get an Elimination Chamber, whether it be SmackDown or Raw. It actually could be both, actually, because I know they're going to have a women's one as well. Who wins that, then they get to choose which title they want to choose. Then whichever one. So like let's say Sami Zayn wins it for, and so he chooses uh, Seth Rollins, and they could have done something with Roman Reigns. Now, the thing is, with CM Punk being hurt now, whoever Seth Rollins faces, that won't be a main event match, except for maybe Cody. But anyone else will be a main event match. Probably just go back to the original plan, or the original rumored plan of Rhea Ripley versus Becky Lynch is for the main event for night one. Because I did think Cody and Seth could still be a main event match, though. Uh, but how everyone is crapping on Roman Reigns and and Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns and Rock. And this Thursday, there's gonna be a press conference. excuse me, press conference in Vegas with The Rock and Roman Reigns, and I think Cody might be there. I know Seth is there, gonna be there. I think Bianca is gonna be there. Gonna be a few people that, of course, that's what the Super Bowl is taking place in Vegas, and it's gonna be interesting to see what happens with that. And they could always pivot back to Cody and Roman and have someone like I saw somewhere saying that the contract signing, Roman knows that signs it. Rock says, well, I'm surprised they didn't sign it. What, no, didn't read it because in it, I'm not facing you. I'm special guest referee. You're facing Cody Rhodes. and Cody Rhodes comes down to sign the contract. Could be that. And for me personally, I would have if not that I don't want to see Roman in the Rock because there is a storyline there. I don't want to see it for the title because right now, if Roman and the Rock face up and the title's involved, you know that Roman will win the match, even though the rumors that the Rock says that he wants to win it. And with I think that'd be a lot worse than Roman Reigns doing because at least Roman Reigns, his schedule is wide open. He comes when he pleases, but at least we know that in a month from now he's going to be available. In 2 months from now he's going to be available. So in a month from now we don't know if the Rock's going to be available. In 3 months from now we don't know if the Rock's going to be available. So it's like no, I would have keep it with Roman Reigns. Now, if the match did not have the title, I still think Roman would win, but at least there is still that possibility of The Rock could win the match, though, too, and so forth. So, and it could be the passing of the torch type thing, like what The Rock did to John Cena, and then in 2013, and then what Hogan did to The Rock in 2002. It's like, hey, passing the torch for him and stuff. You're the man type thing now. Um, another thing though, that there's only one thing that will make me be okay with the, the Rock and Roman Reigns thing at WrestleMania, and that is if they announce that like Survivor Series is gonna be Madison Square Garden, because that's where the picture that Cody Rhodes mentioned of his father holding the WWE Championship was taking at Madison Square Garden. So it would be like, okay, I won the championship my father did win in the arena where he thought he had won it. So, but I'm sure and I'm sure people still will be upset about that. But you know what? Another thing that said, he did say, and with Cody Rhodes, a lot of people don't understand. People, oh, he's going to face Seth Rollins, going to face Seth Rollins for WrestleMania. All he said he was not going to face Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. He never said he was going to challenge Cody Rhodes for the title either. So he might. Yeah, I'm sure that's going to be either on Raw or this Friday on SmackDown. He's supposed to be because Cody is announced to be on SmackDown. You could say, I'm not using my Royal Rumble win at WrestleMania. I'm going to use it at my at my uh, at my convenience. And I know they do SummerSlam at lately they've been doing it at NFL stadiums, so they could still be doing that because the host's going to be in Cleveland, and they could do it in, like I said, I think the title change will be in if they decide to do that, the Survivor Series, MSG, and Then they could also have Roman Reigns have the longest championship title reign in the modern era, but going past because that would be long past Hulk Hogan's uh, title reign, which is considered the longest in the modern era. That's the third long. I think the third longest overall, maybe fourth. I know Bruno Sammartino has the longest. I know Bob Backlund has the second longest. I'm not sure if Bruno's second title reign is longer. And Pedro Morales, I think, might just be a little bit shorter than that. I think Hogan has the third longest for a title reign for his first reign. But thank you for watching. Have a good day. Please like, subscribe, and share.